Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspiration. I want to talk to you today about moving past energetic blocks. If you find yourself in a repeating pattern, if you find yourself like a broken record, if you're stuck repeating relationship after relationship, the same relationship time after time, if you find yourself in one dead-end job, you leave that job only to find the next job is worse. If you find yourself continuously shooting yourself in the foot just when the going gets good, or before the going gets good, then you too may have an energetic block. So before we get started tonight, my co-partner in crime, my co-host, my co-everything, my wife, my love, my everything, is upstairs right now. She has crawled out of bed to guide us in the chat room. She used to have mold toxicity poisoning, which means that when things would get humid and the mold levels would get up, she'd go get really sick. She doesn't have that since we've moved to Colorado. However, it is extremely wet outside. We have the remnants of Hurricane Rosa coming through. I have a fish plate that is echoing, so I'm moving that to the side here. And with the hurricane coming through, or the remnants, we don't really get hurricanes in Colorado, the pressure has dropped quite a bit, and her body is reacting as if she is sick. So we've got her thankfully on the chat room, so she's going to help guide everything, but we will not try to put her on the mic tonight. So I'm going to do my best. She's going to repost any questions that you have, and I'm going to do my best to scroll through and answer all of your questions. So let's talk energetic blocks. Now, we all have energetic blocks in our lives. Things we see, things we don't see, things that cause repeat patterns. Mine, I've talked about it often, but I might as well talk about it again, is in the past used to be the screw up gene. I'd be afraid of screwing things up. And because of that, I'd be so afraid of things going wrong that I would create situations so they could go wrong. It would be as if I was in a relationship and I was so afraid of having a fight that I would create a fight. I would create the very situation that I was afraid of. Why? Well, the ego's always scared of what's coming up. If the ego sees the fear right in front of itself, it sees the problem, it can relax. So would the ego blow something up because it's afraid of you blowing something up? Absolutely. Then it knows where to focus its attention. So for myself, my shooting myself in the foot was a way of assuaging the fears of screwing up. Instead, I would subconsciously sabotage things. It's an energetic block. I also have the same pattern that you may have had, which is I would get in one relationship, and I had long-term relationships, but I would create the same partner and thereby the same blow up at the end, time after time. It wasn't the partner. It was me. It was an energetic imprint that I'm replaying over and over and over again. So to move past your energetic blocks, which really sets you free, it really takes that elephant off of your shoulders. What we need to do is go elephant hunting. Poor elephant. And I never expected to be saying on air, I am elephant hunting, because I absolutely love all animals, especially magnificent elephants. But you want to go hunting for your energetic blocks. If you see a pattern, start asking questions. For instance, when Jessica got sick in Maui, we had no idea what was going on. When she then got better in New Jersey, we moved down to North Carolina, and she got sick again. We're going, there's a pattern here. What's the block we get to move past? How did we figure out what it was and figure out we needed to be as far away from water as we could be? Because we started asking the questions. Catch that pattern, look at that pattern, scrutinize that pattern, get a microscope out for that pattern, and ask all the questions you can. Now, if you see things piling up in your life, or things repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, you may have an energetic block. So for example, I love to use the example of our kitchen sink. We have a double kitchen sink. One side we use for draining, the other side we use for cleaning. And the side that's used for cleaning, as long as it's clear, things get cleaned really quickly. Clean it, take it out, rinse it, dry it, whatever, put it away. At least get it out of the way. If you have a pot, however, that has caked on, stuck on, burnt on something or other, and you put it in the cleaning side of the sink, well, it needs to soak for a while. If it needs to soak, then anything else that comes after it gets piled up and piled up more and piled up more and piled up more until you've got a real mess on your hands. What you have is not a kitchen mess, not a sink mess. You have an energetic block. So what do? You recognize, wait, this pot is the very thing that's causing everything to stack up. So if I'm going to move forward and keep my kitchen clean or keep my sink clean, I need to clean that pot first and foremost to move that energetic block. There's a book I read in MBA school many years ago, Necessary but Not Sufficient. And it talked about energetic blocks. It talked about how you can have 10 processes going on in a manufacturing plant at once. And they're all going cranking at this great level. Let's say you're turning out 10 widgets an hour on 9 different conveyor belts. But one conveyor belt is only able to take those 10 widgets and assemble 1 widget an hour. That's your energetic block. Until you fix that energetic block, everything else gets stuck behind it. That's your squeeze point. That's your tight and narrow doorway. So what do we need to do? We need to transfer efforts away from those conveyor belts moving 10 things an hour to the one moving 1 thing an hour to find out a way how to blow it open, how to expand it, how to be able to move past it. That's what you need to do in your life. We need to look for the block, find the block. Even finding the block allows things to flow more easily. If you can recognize the block, chances are you can see solutions too. One of the crazy things about emotional blocks, and I can illustrate this 10 times over in our kitchen, is when you have an emotional block, you become blind to a lot that's around you. We have incredibly intelligent brains, much more intelligent than, at least until recent years, the smartest computer. I don't know exactly how far AI has come, but hopefully we're still in the lead, although I'm sure that will change. But while we collect 60 billion some odd billion bits of information a moment, we can only hold on to 2,000 bits. Out of 60 billion to 2,000. That's all we can store in our minds. That's all we can actually perceive at once, even though that 60 billion is going on around us. What does that mean? It means we choose what to see. It's why you can have 2 people at a traffic accident, have completely different perspectives, and both be completely right, even though they appear to be the opposite, because you see through your filter, they see through their filter. It's what we call blind spots. Now, an energetic block can be a blind spot. A great example of this, which I've done time after time, is to go into the fridge for something. Oh, I'm going in for the hot sauce. And to open the fridge going, I don't know where the hot sauce is. And thinking to myself, I think we're out of hot sauce. We're going to need to go get some. So I open up the fridge. There's no hot sauce. Pookie, do you know where the hot sauce is? Yeah, it's in the second shelf where it always is. No, I looked there. It's on the second shelf. No, I looked there. And then she comes downstairs. She goes to the second shelf. And there, right before my eyes, is the hot sauce. Was I not looking hard enough? No. Was I being careless? Despite what my parents said growing up? No. What was going on? I had an energetic block. I had printed in my mind, there is no hot sauce in the fridge. You need to go and buy some. And because of that, my brain selected the bits of information that proved me right. There is no hot sauce. We do this in our jobs. We do this in relationships. We do this in arguments, conversations with our boss, you name it, especially with abundance, prosperity, and money. Also law of attraction, is we don't see what's right in front of us because of a statement we've already made. So what do we need to do? really step back. We want to throw our kitchen sink at it. Or as Anthony Robbins says, we want to take massive action. What's that massive action? It's stepping back and looking in our lives every single way that you can. Write about any blocks that you find. If you don't know what the blocks are, that's fine. Write about the patterns in your life. For instance, I used to get injured time after time after time again, and I didn't know why. Jessica came into my life. We're on Maui. We're trying to figure this out. We're going to do a past life regression. We pulled out an Excel spreadsheet, which I highly recommend doing when you've got energetic blocks, or if you're wondering, why am I repeating patterns? Is there a block? Get out an Excel spreadsheet. On one side, write down all the big events that have taken place in your life or continue to take place. Then on the next column on the right, write down what a possible pattern may be. Why was I continuing to get hurt? I was out of alignment with the universe. Why else did I continue to get hurt? I wasn't listening to the universe. You know, I was learning a new and old bicycle trainer technique today called rollers. And you're on these 3 drums on your bicycle. You have to balance carefully or you can fall off. And I'd been thinking to myself, my knee's not feeling really good. I feel like I should stop. No, let's do 10 more minutes. But I feel like I should stop. No, let's do 10 more minutes. I feel like I should. And then I slowed down and tipped over. Why did I tip over? I think because my heart was telling me, you should stop. We need to rest the knee. You should stop. You should rest the knee. You should stop. Okay, let's help you stop. And that's what it did. It always is here to serve us. The universe is not doing things to you. It's always doing things through you and for you. It's just as the line goes, we can learn things the easy way or we can learn things the hard way. Your blocks are here to teach you something. When you uncover your blocks, the first thing you should ask is, what is this here to teach me? What do I get to learn? What is it I haven't been listening to or that I need to scrutinize and learn from in my life? So how more to recognize the blocks? Write about the patterns. Make the Excel spreadsheet. Ask in automatic writing. Ask in morning pages. Ask in your journaling. If you have dear friends you can trust, or if you're okay talking with your spouse or partner about it, and if not, I highly recommend you work on the communication skills. Be daring, be bold, find ways to overcome the emotional blocks and the energetic blocks of not being able to speak with your partner, because so incredibly important. And if you can't move past that, that's a block to take a look at. It could be telling you something about your relationship. But ask your closest friends, ask your partner if they see repeating patterns and what they can do. And then ask your future self. This is an opportunity few of us avail ourselves of, which is we can leap past any problem and go to the future. There is really no time. Ask Albert Einstein if he were still around. But again, if there's no time, maybe he is. But in quantum mechanics, in modern day or in Newtonian physics, time is not real. And so you can write a letter from yourself to yourself from what I call your future self, giving you advice on the present. So go to your future self. I go to my future Michael and I say, Michael, please tell me what I need to know about this situation. I like to meditate first, maybe get some theta brainwave entrainment music going, go quiet, do it first thing in the morning or last thing at night, and then see what Michael has to share, what my future self has to share. Understand, you will move past every energetic block in your life if you are motivated to. You don't even have to try hard. You just have to gain awareness. There's something that I call the future present. That means your future has already taken place. It just gets to come about. So in the present, the future's already here. That's the future present. So you can write about what you've accomplished. You can write about what you've done. You can write about how you've already moved past the block, and you can live as if the future block no longer exists. That's how we moved here. That's how we've manifested so much in our lives. That's how we've moved past any of our blocks. And admittedly, we've had many, many blocks, both on the financial, the success, employee, fear, health, you name it. We all have blocks. Why? Energetic blocks are protective mechanism from the past gone awry. Or as one of our guests recently said, it's like having an autoimmune disease is a mechanism that took place in the body at one particular moment to protect you that just hasn't shut off. And that's what an energetic block is too. How can we address these blocks? You can go to things with emotion code. You can go to tapping. You can come up with mantras, positive statements, or even make yourself a self-hypnosis paragraph, a positive paragraph talking about how, let's say you have an emotional block toward money. You write out a paragraph saying how money comes to me with grace and ease. I have a Midas touch. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch brings about more success and more success. I am so overflowing with abundance. It's incredible how much I brought into my life. I am so glad I've moved past any of the energetic blocks and I am completely on fire with my finances. You write that out, then pull up some theta brainwave entrainment music on YouTube. If you have our programs, you can use our music. You can go and repeat it to yourself while you're tapping. You want to read this to yourself with theta music, last thing before you go to bed, while you're tapping on different points, first thing in the morning when you wake up. All of these times, you're half here, half there, or basically you're moving from the conscious 10% of your mind to the subconscious 90%. I'll even tap on the heart, 90% of what's going on. And when you read those statements to yourself in that place, you help reprogram the subconscious to move past the blocks. I'm a big fan of mantras, but I'm an even more powerful fan of doing it while tapping with theta music, last thing at night, first thing in the morning, or with your automatic writing. And for myself, I'm sure I've showed you this many times before. I always had a set of beads on me so that I can repeat a mantra. So if I'm stuck, we're going to go with abundance again. If I am not feeling abundant and I want to switch to that, I can be going to money flows with grace and ease. Money flows to me with grace and ease. Money flows to me with grace and ease. Even more, tapping on my heart. Money flows to me with grace and ease. Money flows to me with grace and ease. I'll get some music going. Money flows to me with grace and ease. And then I might write out a beautiful paragraph to myself about how I envision money flowing to me with grace and ease. I see it coming in unexpected sources, $10,000 here, $100,000 there, whatever your subconscious can accept. Don't go for too big of an amount or your subconscious is going to but jump over that hurdle. If you're stuck trying to get that $100 in, write about it, do mantras about it, tap about it, as if you've got even more coming in with total and complete grace and ease. Understand, more than 50% of the challenge is recognizing that block. Once you do, I want you to throw the kitchen sink at it. I want you to take truly massive action in every way you can to move past it. And I want you to get uncomfortable. Comfort is the killer of dreams. That doesn't mean we can't have a comfortable couch. Doesn't mean we can't have a comfortable house. What it means is we don't want to sit back once we've identified that block. We want to challenge ourselves. We want to get uncomfortable. We want to flirt with the edge of that cliff, a safe cliff with safety ropes, mind you. But we want to put ourselves in a position of discomfort, walking that tightrope so we can get to the other end. So I'm going to open it up to questions here. First off, we've got our magical evening routine program coming up in just a week or two. I'm not sure what the exact date of release is. It is a super powerful program. If you're struggling to sleep at night, if you're struggling to get enough rest, if you're struggling to get going in the morning, or if you are challenged with getting some organization or reining in your day, the magical evening routine can help. Using the evening routine, we're going to help you to fall asleep easier, fall asleep faster, get a better night's rest. Organize your day. I know the dreaded O word. Make it easier to organize your day and truly set your subconscious up for success so that you have less stress, less anxiety, feel better about yourself, feel supercharged the next day, feel you're on task, on purpose, and excited for what's coming ahead. We'll be releasing this program. It's a video-based program, super easy to follow along in just a week or two. We'll be posting details on YouTube, and you can also go to inspirenationuniversity.com to find out more. Last, come support the show. We are 100% supported by you, our audience. You can support the show by coming over to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Inspire Nation, where we have words of wisdom videos for you, behind the scenes videos, lots more tools, tips, the works for you to follow. And you're helping to support the show by becoming a member of the Inspire Nation family. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And speaking of a huge thank you, I want to thank Jessica for running the chat window even when she is under the weather. This is above and beyond the call of duty. So now I'm going to go down and see. I'm opening my chat window here, which I have closed so that I am not distracted and I am highly focused for talking, and see what question is first. So, Michael, here was a question from earlier. Mark Rivard, how do you know if spirit guides are really with you? That's a brilliant question, Mark. To me, it comes down to a feeling, and I think it's different for all of us because some of us hear things better, some of us feel things better, some of us touch and taste things better. There are different ways that we perceive that which is around us. For myself, before every show, before every interview, I say a prayer, and at the end of the prayer, I tend to get goosebumps. And to me, those goosebumps or a chill running through my body or a chill running up and down my spine let me know that there is someone, something there with me. I can also go into automatic writing and I get confirmation there. But to me, it's more clear than that. When I pause and ask and pray, I feel something. And for me, that's telling me quite clearly that something is there with me. Now, just because something is there for your highest good, as I like to call it, and the highest good of all, doesn't mean that things are always going to go easy. And as you say, spirit guides. If you're a guide for Indiana Jones, or if Indiana Jones is your guide for that matter, the trip isn't necessarily going to be easy. You still may have arrows and poison darts coming your way and lots of snakes. I actually love snakes, so that's a good thing. The point being, you still may face challenges, because I consider this personally an earth school. We are spiritual beings having a human existence. We all came here with a job to do, but most importantly, our number one job is to learn and to grow. Now, I don't know about you, but if I don't crack a book, if I don't work, if I don't get uncomfortable and I just sit on the couch, chances are I'm not going to learn anything. And so when you ask something from your spirit guides, when you pray for something, you may well get it, but in a completely opposite fashion of what you intend. You may ask you may say, God, universe, spirit guides, whatever, I'd like to be stronger. And all of a sudden you find yourself broken. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I asked to be stronger. But what happens is, to get back from broken, you become 10 times stronger. I was praying for safety and guidance for a world record skate I was supposed to do across the country in 2006. I was a sponsored athlete by Rollerblade. And I prayed for guidance. I laced up my skates after a meditation center, pushed off, and the next thing you know, I'm having a near-death experience, and I'm completely broken on the trail. But wait a second. I just prayed for safety and guidance. I got it. I was broken in one sense, so I wouldn't do the skate. Much better to be broken here on the bike path than maybe to have to meet my demise with a Mack truck or something like that. So when you go to prayer, and I cannot recommend it enough. That doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean that you're not scientific or whatever. It doesn't mean that you lack some intellectual poobah or something. What it means is you're incredibly strong and smart and wise, in my opinion. But if you go to prayer, rest assured your prayers will be answered, but it may not at all appear in the moment in the fashion you intend. Time after time, we've seen this in our lives. That's why we just have to come to this understanding and this place of surrender that whatever is coming for us is for our highest good. Does it mean we don't complain and grumble? Certainly not. You know, if you fall on your bicycle on the rollers, you may go, ow, why? It hurt. Was it still for my highest good? Well, it actually stopped me so I could rest my knee and, more importantly, get ready for the show early. I guess I needed to do that, and maybe I wasn't listening clearly enough. So it's always for our highest good. All right. Let's see. Jessica, what would a next question be? Drum roll, please. Here's the next question. Diana CQ. Hi, Diana. My neighbors upstairs are always fighting. Is it possible for me to pick up their bad energy? You don't have to. It's not necessarily fun. It's not necessarily easy. You can create a bubble around you. You can do a meditation and picture a bubble of like pink light. I don't know why I want to use pink in this situation, but pink is a great color for protection, and put yourself in this heart bubble of pink light. You can use sage. You can take Epsom salt baths. You can play some great music. I've had really loud neighbors before. I understand if none of that blocks it out, but you can do everything in your power, especially prayer, to not pick that up. Then, if you can, when the time is right, I would energetically put yourself in another place. Great story I've heard kind of explains this is the Dalai Lama. There was a documentary being made on the Dalai Lama, one of 1,000 different documentaries. And the documentary filmmaker, while he's taking a train up to Dharmasala to meet the Dalai Lama, he's been in touch with the monks, and the monks tell him, they want to know, first off, general questions in advance, and they tell him, if you treat the Dalai Lama with respect, he'll take almost any question. If you treat him with a lack of respect, or with a lack of, more importantly, sincerity, then he will thank you for your time and gently leave. Now, the Dalai Lama can handle your energy. The Dalai Lama could handle the Chinese's energy when they took over Tibet. However, he doesn't need to put out that energy to keep himself in a sacred space. Instead, he says, I choose not to do that dance. So Diana, when the time is right, for now, put yourself in the bubble, do what you can, use your sage, go to prayer, stay out when you can, which is a shame. But if they're fighting, you might step outside for a little bit or play some beautiful, beautiful music, some theta brainwave music, go to heart coherence. God, Jessica had the most amazing success. We'll tangent back to the Dalai Lama in a second. Jessica used this tool when her parents were fighting years ago. And she went to Ho'oponopono. And outside of their door, she kept repeating, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. She wasn't saying it to them. She was saying it to heal her heart, because we are all one. And guess what happened? By healing her heart around their fighting, all of a sudden they got quiet. So you can go to Ho'oponopono. You can go to love. You can send them all the love in the world. And I highly, highly recommend it. Reframe it. Use an opportunity to beam out all of the love you possibly can to them. And then when the opportunity presents itself, if you need to, exit, just like the Dalai Lama, exit stage left. All right, let's see what the next question is. Jessica, ready for the next question? And the next question is, Bashar Zori. Beautiful name, Bashar. Hi, Michael. I am experiencing a huge energetic block from losing one of my sketchbooks in the past, and I always ruminate over the bad instead of the good. I need help. Bashar, you just got yourself lighter. And I know that sounds a little facetious. I don't mean it that way. I used to love, is it Robert Escher paintings of things geometrically, like water flowing downhill, then it appears to be uphill, and then it flowing downhill again. They always blew me away. In senior year high school, I used to do all these geometric drawings, kind of like mandalas, but nothing that sophisticated, nothing that good. But I was always trying to make Escher-esque drawings. And in particular, I did them in senior English class. English class was admittedly boring. I loved to write, but I just wasn't being, I would consider, intellectually stimulated. And it helped me actually to focus and pay attention. Whenever the teacher would ask a question, I'd be drawing, I'd immediately be able to go and answer his question, go right back to my drawing. It actually helped me to stay focused. Well, that may be the case, and I may have loved those drawings dearly, but at the end of the year, my teacher told me, if you want to graduate my class, you will give me your sketchbook and you will never see them again. That was heart-wrenching. I did it, and I was sad. I'm still sad that I missed them, but I was able to let go of it. When these things happen, they are offloading energy to make room for something new. It's a matter of reframing it, Bashar. Anything that we've lost, and I'm going to put that in quotes because on some level, this is all a giant hologram. It all matters. It's all real, but it's also all energy. Anything that we've lost makes room for something new. Time after time, I have a client that comes to me and says, I've got a job that's not working out, a relationship that's not working out, something that's not working out, and all of a sudden it totally blows up on them. And at first they feel a great sense of loss. But wait a second, I hadn't chosen this. I hadn't decided to do that. I hadn't. But at the end of the day, once they're able to move past that, they see space where before there was weight. So your sketchbook, I'm sure, had amazing, amazing work in it. Amazing work. I don't want to take away from that. But it can be the rocket fuel and the space, the capsule, the vessel you need to make even more great work, even better than before. It is so hard to see when we lose something that it's leaving space for something else. But when you can grasp that concept, again, it's the concept, the big theme tonight, the universe is happening for you and through you, not to you. It's not, oh my God, what happened to my sketchbook? What am I going to do? It's, oh my God, this really sucks. It does. Let's not deny it. Let's not squash down the negative emotions. It really sucks. I want to grieve. I want to feel this. Maybe I want to write about it and then get upset and then tear it up. I want to get those emotions out. And then I want to go, all right, universe, you gave me space. It's time for me to dive back in or to take a different direction and dive in that new direction with everything I've got. Universe is happening through you and for you, not to you. So Bashar, although it is hard, you just got light. I would focus on that. I would focus on the gift. In fact, for everyone, when I was doing automatic writing earlier today, I was writing about gratitude. And what I heard is the next level of gratitude is celebration. It means celebrating everything that takes place in your life. Now, I'm not going to go into the loss of a loved one, like the death of a loved one. That's an incredibly challenging thing. And I don't ever want to suggest you celebrate that. Although Irish weddings maybe, or funerals maybe on some level do that, but I'm not saying let's celebrate that. But when things go boom in your life, when Michael falls off of the rollers, when something blows up, when a job blows up, a relationship blows up, when something disappears on us, when you have a boo-boo with the car, and especially the positives, if you celebrate it, if you say thank you, I know something great is going to come out of this, then it will. So don't just celebrate the great moments. You can celebrate the home you have. You can celebrate the job you have. You can celebrate, I love our kitty cats. I love that I'm with Jessica. I love our home. I love everything in our lives. Even if I want things to get better or things to do this or things to do that, I love this present moment and I want to celebrate it. But I can also celebrate the muck and the mire because I know from too much experience of licking wounds, Every single time I've gone down, hopefully metaphorically more than anything else, something incredible, more incredible has come of it. Even Jessica right now, who might be going, why am I being pulled down by this barometric pressure? I know she already knows it. She'll probably type in the chat room and go, yeah, of course I knew that. It will bring her into a cocoon. It will slow her down. It will help her to step back, and something even greater will come of it. Celebrate. I feel like a Hallmark card here. How did Hallmark manage to almost steal intellectually in our minds, celebrate the moments of our lives, but celebrate every moment of your life, the good, the bad, and otherwise. If you celebrate those moments, it doesn't bring more negative moments about. It's the universe going, he's open, she's open, they're receptive. Let me give them something positive to celebrate. They're understanding, they're getting the big picture lesson. Let me help them to move forward. All right, let's take a next question, Jessica. I see some beautiful chat going on here. Tellin08, what do you do about abusive parent relationships? Should you move on or try to be friends with them? They don't want to change or admit what they did. Tellin8, I've been numb my whole life and that's difficult for me. All right, Tellin. So let's talk big picture. 1, you can never change them. 2, you don't get to change them. 3, incredibly difficult with our parents because we are emotionally, like string theory, we are so energetically connected, but their opinions, this is going to sound radical, are none of your business. You can't change them. You can't do anything about them. You can send them, and I believe Jessica said this in the chat room, all the love in the world. You can do lots and lots of ho'oponopono. You can set boundaries of when you want to speak to them and how much you want to speak to them. But what you cannot do in any circumstance is the dance. What's the dance? Part A of the dance, expecting them to change. They've been this way longer than you've existed. They're your parents. Therefore, you're not going to get them to change. The best way you can help them to change is be the light. Be the best you that you can be. And that leads to part B, set boundaries. You must put the oxygen mask on yourself first. There were years in my life where I was doing an energetic dance with my parents where I had to really step back and I had to set boundaries. Mom, love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. I will speak with you about this, this, and this, but we won't be talking about my job. We won't be talking about my relationship. We won't be talking about how much money I'm making or anything else of the sort. If Mom was okay with that, then I could speak with her on the phone. If Mom wasn't okay with that, I'd say, sorry, Mom, I said I wasn't going to talk about that. I'll speak to you next time. That way you're stepping into your power. Telling part of your numbness, we get to address through emotion code, through tapping, through a lot of the exercises that I've addressed here. But a big part of it is getting you to open your throat chakra, to getting you to speak your truth, to come into your own power. Part of that is going to be distancing yourself. Part of that is going to be doing visualization work, like breathing in and out, imagining the air coming into the throat, going out through the throat as you're spinning a blue is the color of the throat chakra, spinning a blue pinwheel as you start to open this up and start learning how to speak your truth. As you speak your truth more, as you come into your power more, you will start to feel better and stronger and less numb. Now, I'm not encouraging engagement. I'm not encouraging fighting. And I think there was one thing. They don't want to change or admit what they did. It's okay. Let it be, no matter what it is. When you're asking somebody to change that way, it's sort of like, I don't want to use the term revenge, but I don't know a better way to put it. Revenge is a poison. You point toward the other and take for yourself. It's the dagger you stab in your own heart. Asking somebody to admit something only hurts you. Forgive yourself first for any ill will, and then forgive them. That doesn't mean you have to forget. Far from it. But if you can let go of the string to whatever they did, then they're not still doing it towards you. If you're looking for an apology, if you're looking for them to regret or for them to admit, then you're allowing it energetically, the wounding, to continue and to continue and to continue. And that's why your wall is up. That's why you're numbed out. That's why your guard is up. If instead you take the biggest, bravest, boldest, gnarliest step in the world and you say in your heart, you don't have to say it to them, I forgive you. Just like Jesus said in Bible, New Testament, you know not what you've done. I forgive you. You don't have a clue what you did to me, but I still forgive you. Then you can let go of it and you can start dropping the guards. Highly recommend. Please check out our videos on EFT tapping. Can be incredibly helpful for you. And check out the videos on emotion code as well. Because once you've gone through Ho'oponopono, and I would be doing this over and over and over and over again to heal yourself, not for them. We're all attached. We're all one. And entanglement theory says you take two atoms, you make two atoms at the same time, you split them apart, you put one on one side of the universe, one on the other side, you vibrate one, the other one vibrates as well. That's the connection that we have with our parents. It's so incredibly strong. So if you want to help them, work on healing yourself. I love you. I love myself. Please forgive me. Please forgive myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, self, for anything that I've done that harmed you. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. And you're thanking yourself for giving yourself this love, for giving yourself this forgiveness. That is going to go the longest way to healing. And then step back. I'm never suggesting entirely cutting the cords unless they are truly being harmful to you now. But again, first see if you can do bite-sized bits with them before you completely cut the cords, because life is short. It literally could be over at the end of this YouTube video. So you don't want to live with the regret that you may have completely cut them off, that you have separated yourself fully, and that you never spoke to them again. Instead, I recommend using these techniques, putting the oxygen mask on yourself first, and taking them in tiny, tiny metered doses. Brilliant question. Send all my love your way, Telenate. All right, next question. Mel Isherwood. How do you quell negative self-talk like regret and guilt? That's a beautiful question, Mel. First off, you might want to write about it. I have an exercise I call Better Out Than In. And I would write out, this is like the opposite of law of attraction and the opposite of everything we've been taught in our society. In our society, you can't have negative thinkings. You've got to be happy. If you're angry, there's something wrong with you. You know, we're told by our parents, don't cry, don't be upset, and don't. Instead, I want you to get it all out. It's the Better Out Than In exercise. Get a notepad, preferably a disposable one. Write out all the regret and guilt, and then barf it all out, all of it, and then shred it and be done with it. You can do this multiple times if you need to. And you can certainly go to tapping. I check out the tapping videos on it. But I would realize you only have this perfect present moment. So belch out all of the negative emotion. We want to get that out and then live in the here and now. When I had that first NDE and I fell and I broke all sorts of things in my body, I could have gone, Michael, you were so stupid. Michael, why didn't you be more careful? Michael, why didn't you slow down? Michael. And do you know what that would have done? It would have brought my energy down and down and down until there's almost no chance for me to heal. It's all about energy. If you live in regret and guilt, you just keep torturing the heck out of yourself. Instead, I said, I need to heal. And the only way I'm going to do that is to bring my energy up. So I can't focus on what just took place. I have to be in the here and now. Now, if I had hurt somebody else, I would apologize. I would ask for forgiveness. Most importantly, I would ask myself to forgive myself. I would do what I can, but then I would step forward. There is no need under any circumstance. I don't care what you did. There is no good that will come to holding on to regret and guilt. If you can change something, change something. If you can make a positive difference, make a positive difference. Realize these are all learnings in life. No matter what you did or believe you did or who you hurt or who you perceived you hurt. I'm not saying this gives you permission to do these things again. Quite the opposite. Live the most beautiful, powerful, positive moment you can. You'll help yourself. You'll help others. You'll be more of, the higher you raise your vibration, the more it changes the vibration of everyone around you. So to say, well, I don't deserve to be happy, it brings others down. Well, I'm going to keep being upset with myself until it brings everybody down. There is absolutely no positive benefit for regret and guilt. If there's something you can learn for it, learn it, write about it, go to automatic writing. Envision things going differently in the future. Use it as positive rocket fuel. But let it go, and let it go. My last thought on this, and I realize when I say last thought, sometimes it isn't because the words kind of flow through me. Sort of like the 12-step program, surrender. Surrender. Go to prayer and say, I surrender, God. I surrender, universe. I surrender, inner wisdom. I surrender. I can't let go of this myself. Please help me to become strong. Please help me to move forward. Please help me to let this go. And then over time, learn how to love. See, there wasn't the last thing. Learn how to love yourself like there's no tomorrow. If there's one great change, and there are a bunch I've made in my life, it's that I used to hate myself like a mother effer. I really, 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 and my ego would still love to get all over my case, but I come to myself now with such a place of love. Even when I trip and fall, even when I trip over the I am angry and disgusted with you ego recordy thing, I come to myself from such a place and love. I can observe it rather than be it. And that makes all the difference in the world. So start working in your own baby step way to heal the relationship with you and come to love you, not despite your flaws, not despite what you've done, but even because of it. That was part of my learning. That was part of my path. That was part of my journey. I don't want to dwell on it. I don't want to focus on it, but I completely love myself even for that, no matter what. This is going to sound like maybe the craziest statement of them all. Everyone deserves total and complete love, no matter what. We don't have to dance with them. We don't have to be around them. We don't have to condone their actions. We don't have to approve of their actions. But everyone is a spiritual being having their own human learning experience. So realize you come from love. You are love. You could be nothing less than total and complete love, no matter what you do. And everything that you've done here up to this point is for your highest good and the highest good of all. And I'm convinced someday when you're on the other side, when you're doing your life review, you will realize how those things were here to serve you and what incredible things you have learned from it. Absolutely, no matter what. All right. Thank you so much. Beautiful question. Let it go, surrender, and send all my love your way. Jessica, do we have another question? I'm not sure what she just said. Something about something.
Booted. Scroll up, causality.
Scroll up. You just got booted. What does that mean? Can you get back in, or is booting permanent?
No.
Booting is no? So you've been booted. I'm going to causality. Okay. So Jessica's been booted. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what the spiritual significance is of this, Causality. An old confidant who is well into her 70s has had cancer for the past 5 years. I've worried about her the whole time. As recently that she's come to light that she lied about having cancer. I still love her, but I don't trust her anymore. It's so crappy looking at a person you had respect for and not knowing who they are. Everything she's ever said, was it true, messed up? Any tips, Michael? Causality, why she lied to you. Why she lied to you is deserving of love. The fact that she lied to you means she was really hurting in the inside and really needed something badly enough that she would lie. That is deserving of love. She is deserving of love. Nothing she could do could take away the love. In fact, the love and empathy can go up through the roof. Now, you might talk about this and share about it if you're willing to, and share how your trust has been hurt and see what comes of it. Be completely open and honest and see if you feel she's being completely open and honest. If she is, you may choose to move forward with the relationship. If she isn't, you may choose to distance yourself from the relationship. Understand this, since I believe everything is happening for you and through you, not to you. There's something or things that are great that have come out of this relationship, even despite the deception. And it may be that she deceived you in the beginning and she wanted to pull back and had no idea how in the world to do it. But I'm sure you've learned and grown and gained so much from it. It doesn't mean that you need to continue the relationship. It doesn't mean that the relationship needs to continue in the way that it is. But something incredibly powerful can come out of this. I would go, and I'm guessing Jessica, well, I guess she got booted, or she would have said, go to Ho'oponopono. That is the number one place I would start to heal your heart over this situation and to help heal her heart. I would certainly go to a place of total and complete forgiveness with her. It doesn't mean forget. It doesn't mean you have to trust her moving forward. You can step back. You can take your time. You can write about it. You can breathe into it. You can be patient about it and see what comes to you. And then you can choose. You're a great person, whether you choose to continue the relationship or choose not to continue the relationship. But my guess is there's a very important reason she did this. There's something to be learned from it. And my heart of hearts suggests there is a way to move forward from it, but you don't have to. Trust and listen to your heart. That's what's most important. If you do that, well, there is no such thing as doing any wrong. But if you do that, if you trust and listen to your heart, then you will act with the most kindness, love, and compassion in the world, even despite her deceiving you for the last 5 years. Even despite that, you bring love and forgiveness to this. Your heart will crack open and something incredibly special will come out of it. Thank you so, so much for sharing causality. Let's see how we're doing on this list here. I can't tell if Jessica's back online, so I'm going to ask if Jessica is back online. Yes, she is. That's all the questions for now, and it is perfect timing. Jessica, please type if there's anything that you want me to add or anything you want me to mention to people. We have the magical evening routine coming up. You can go to inspirenationuniversity.com to find out about that. You can support the show. Come to Patreon, patreon.com/InspireNation. This is your channel. What do I mean by that? I mean that we are here for you. Our mission, our job is to raise the vibration of the planet, elevate consciousness, help shift humanity to the next level, and help you to shine bright. So ask for what you want for us. Ask what questions you have. Put in the comments here what you would like us to see shows about, what you'd like to hear about, what you'd like to learn about. We're going to be doing a massive, incredibly affordable program coming up in January, tentatively 52 weeks of happiness. It's basically 52 weeks to give you your greatest year and therefore your greatest life ever. It's going to be our most comprehensive program and also our most cost-effective program for you. So tell us what you would like in this. What would you like to see? What would you like to hear? What would you like to learn about? Because we are here for you, and you are what gives us the juice. You are what helps us stay inspired and on fire. So that's it from here. I want to wish you the most beautiful day ahead, the most beautiful evening ahead, the most beautiful week ahead. Hadaru, how to deal with fear of failure. We'll cover this more next time, Hadaru. The only words that I will say real briefly about this is to do with fear of failure, is to write out what a worst case scenario is and then to lean into it, to breathe into it, to learn from it, and then to step forward. Hadaru, bring that question to us next week. We will dive into it in great detail, and that might actually be the theme for next week, is fear of failure. If not, I will make sure we cover it in more detail. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Hadaru. Thank you, Corsality. Thank you, Karen Abdul Salam. Thank you, everybody above and beyond all else. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, angels, guides, whomever and whatever is out there. Thank you for leading and guiding us, and thank you for helping us to help everyone. Above and beyond all else, we send all our love. Shine bright. Woohoo!